Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. Let's dive deep into Maker's Mark Wood Finishing Series 2022. What's going on, everybody? Nathan here with the Everyday Drinker, bringing you guys a brand new episode. Today, we are diving deep into the Maker's Mark Wood Finishing Series Limited Edition 2022 BRT-01 and BRT-02. Now, these annually come out each year. Most of the time, the 01 comes out in the spring and the 02 comes out in the fall. But as you guys know, Maker's Mark dropped these both at the exact same time. So if you were lucky enough to get your hands on one, that was awesome. I was thankful enough and grateful to be able to pick up both bottles at the same store. So without further ado, let's dive into these bottles and see what makes these two so special. If we look at BRT-01, BRT-01 was kept at the top of the rick house. As you guys know, Maker's Mark does hand rotate all of their barrels. If you didn't, now you do. And they made sure to keep these barrels at the top of the rick house to see what that flavor profile would do. Now, if you guys didn't know, hotter temperatures rise, so these barrels at the top end of the rick house were a lot warmer throughout the entire duration of their lifespan inside of that barrel. And what that does is it allows a lot more of the bourbon to go into the pores of the wood, opens up a little bit more, gets a little bit more concentrated in those wood panels, and then when it cools off during the night, it excretes a little bit more, and it just adds a completely different flavor profile. Whereas BRT-02 over here on our right, that was kept at the bottom of the rick house. So what that is, it's a lot cooler of a climate. I'm pretty sure that they use a concrete floor, so it's nice, cool, and damp, and these barrels stay nice and cool. So it didn't allow for a lot of absorption into the staves of the barrel. It allowed the softness of everything to be pronounced in this bottle. So we're going to see what the differences are of these two right now, starting with BRT-01. So BRT-01, it says that you're going to have a nice deep caramelized barrel note accented with some toastiness and a warm finish. Both of these are 109.4 proof, so nothing too crazy there, but let's see what this nose is all about. Oh wow, that's a lot of cherry. There's a cherry banana almost. There's a little banana in that. There's actually a lot of banana in that. That cherry, it's like a cherry banana smoothie almost. It smells thick and creamy. Wow. There's a little bit of like a straw note, a little grassy, earthy. It smells like almost like a fruity caramel. There's a little bit like a dark chocolate in there too. Maybe not like a super dark chocolate, but it's a little bit more cocoa than your traditional milk chocolate. It smells a little dusty. That dust is in there. Wow, that smells so good. But from what I've heard and from what I've seen, 02 is better than 01. But let's get into the palate of this bad boy, guys. Cheers. That's toasty. That's really toasty. Like you're smelling the smoke of a campfire, but it's like right in the very beginning. It's not like very, very thick and charred. Like it's a nice warm oak toast going on. That fades off. You're definitely getting like this this different oak presence because of those French oak staves. There's a lot of vanilla in there. There's a ton of vanilla. Not a lot, a ton of vanilla. Like you dumped a bag of vanilla bean inside like a pot and you boiled it, and you just get that aroma of vanilla. That is packed full of it. There's a marshmallow-esque going on. Very, very nice palate. It's not super thin. Coats the palate. Still getting that warm vanilla. Caramel notes in there. Really, really nice. I'm not getting the fruitiness that I thought I was going to get from the nose. Wow. That is super, super toasty. Really, really nice. Warm. It hugs you. It doesn't have a super strong hug, but it lets you know that it is cask strength. Going in on the second sip, it's definitely oak forward. It is warm. It has those tannins that you're looking for when you're looking for an oaky style bourbon. This one is definitely on that heavier oak toastiness going on. Has a little bit of like a barnyard, or not like a barnyard, like a stable note in there. Kind of weird. Not off-putting though. Like it tastes like you're at like a pumpkin patch or something on a hayride. Like, that is the aroma that I'm getting from the palate of this. It's good. It is really, really good. I got a little bit of like a pecan note on that on the third sip. Really nice, nutty, thick. That palate it coats the tongue and it sits there. The finish is long. Really, really, really nice. But I am super stoked to get into the BRT-02. So let's dive right into this bad boy. See what this bottle says. So this one right here, BRT-02, a dark expression filled with notes of fruit, nut, and chocolate. So let's see if we see what Maker's Mark says we should see. Before we get into BRT-02, make sure you guys are liking, commenting, and subscribing down below. As you guys know, we started a Patreon. We've got a community growing over there. So lots of tiers that you guys can go and join up through over there if you're interested. Not obligated to do so whatsoever. Just would mean the world to me. But yeah, I can't thank you guys enough. We are at 1,300 subscribers, and we're growing like you wouldn't believe. Like, I did not expect to hit 1,300 subscribers in less than a month after hitting 1,000 subscribers. So I put a challenge up to you guys last video. Let's hit 2,000 subscribers before the end of the year. But that's only up to you guys. It's my job now to tell you about the notes on BRT-02. Definitely darker. There's a fruit. Yeah, there's a plum, almost like a over-ripened grape almost. Like, it's a very, very sweet grape. There's a nutty, like not pecans like I was getting on the palate of that. More like walnut, maybe a little bit darker of a nut. Like, what can go darker? Chestnut, hazelnut? I'm not quite sure. Not hazelnut, because it doesn't smell like a hazelnut coffee or whatnot. There's no coffee note in there. There's an orange zest. Wow. Super sweet on the nose. That plum, grape, orange. I can get that chocolate note that they're saying. It's a little darker of a chocolate than what I was finding in BRT-01. It smells darker. It definitely smells darker. Not a lot of oak presence on the nose like you were getting on this one. They are completely different on the noses. Warm and bright, dark and fruity. There's this one here has now that I'm going back to the nose on BRT-01, there's a little bit of like a maple syrup-esque going on there too. So I'll be excited to dive back into the palate to see if I can find that maple syrup on the palate from the nose. This one has a dark, rich molasses. Wow, it smells fantastic. It almost smells like, I could be completely wrong here, but if you guys have it, the Penelope Architect Build 1, whereas this is Build 2. Oh yeah, oh yeah. There's a lot of dark red fruit going on in there. There's almost like a peach jam that hits the tongue. A mustiness comes through a little bit, like an old cellar is what you're going into, and you get that warm, cool, dusty, damp hit in your face. That's what this is coming out to, but it is a rich, super, super creamy, jammy fruit bomb is what I'm getting off of this right here. And wow, that is fantastic. Wow. As you guys know, I hadn't drank for a couple of days. I was sick. I'm so happy that I decided to break these open today and record a video, because these just, they made the purchase all that more while. And wow, yeah. I can't wait to share these with a couple of friends, see what their opinions are on these, because these are fantastic. They are completely different. And whatever one you can find, if you can find any of them, I know that they're still hitting the shelves out there. You can't go wrong with either one of them. You're looking for warm and toasty. You're looking for that like oak presence, a little bit more of like something that's brighter. The 01 is the one to go for. If you like that dark fruit, a little mustiness, a little like basement cellar coolness going on, this 02 is the way to go. I personally don't have a preference on these two. These are absolutely fantastic bourbons that you cannot go wrong with. But I want to dive back into the palate and see if I can find that maple syrup note that 01 had on the nose that second time I smelled it. Because that maple syrup is strong. It's almost like It's not maple syrup on the palate. I've smelled maple chips, like maple wood chips, and I could imagine that the maple syrup nose is a maple wood chip is what I'm getting on the palate. It's a little bit drier. It's not super sweet from the maple. It's a little bit of that bitterness from the wood, but that maple is 100% there, and it's very, very pleasant. That is really, really good. But wow, yeah, that's good stuff too. That's a lot darker. It's got a thicker mouthfeel, a lot more rich than the finish on BRT-01. This one just coats the entire tongue. Like a lot of times when you're drinking something and it's got that higher proof and it's thick, it'll coat like the center of your tongue, or it'll coat the sides of your tongue. This one right here rolls over your tongue, your entire tongue, coats the entire thing, and you get that beautiful, beautiful dark fruit finish all the way through. One thing that I was expecting to get out of one of these was like a cinnamon spice, some kind of like clove or something. Really didn't get any of that in either one of these. This one said that you were going to get a chocolate note. Really didn't get like a super strong, distinct chocolate note like I was in BRT-01, which was really, really interesting. But then again, everybody's palate and nose is different. You guys might find something completely different that I didn't find, and I might have found something completely different that you didn't find. That's the beautiful thing about bourbon, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really, really did myself. But until next time, this has been Nathan with The Everyday Drinker. Cheers.